How something like this, we've seen it before, but how does it continue to happen? And is somebody going to be held responsible?
Yes, on the latter point, what happened is the Liberal Party had a contest soliciting photoshopped images, joke images about where would Stephen Harper rather be than in Copenhagen at the Environmental Summit. And so they got some submissions, many of which were funny, but they got one that was not. And this was allowed to go on to the Liberal Party website. So the young person who did this has been disciplined, and the new regime at the Office of the Leader of Opposition has made clear this is to never happen again. It is completely unacceptable. They've apologized, they've withdrawn it. But to the point, you know, how do these things happen? Well, that's a good question, because all of the political parties have gotten into this kind of trouble in the past few years, and we really need to take a look at why that is so and how to prevent it from happening again.
And with this, with regard to the discipline of the person who's responsible for this, does that mean that they were told that that was a bad thing and that's the end of it, or is it more far-reaching than that?
Yeah, no, it's more far-reaching than that. There's been some controls put in place, I can tell you.
But the person's still there in the job.
The person is still there.
Yeah.
They're a young person. They are mortified. They're probably watching us right now as we talk about this, and can't believe that this has gotten to the point that it's gotten at. But these are the kinds of things that are happening. I mean, I can show you here. This is on the Conservative website right now this morning. This is a picture of Stéphane Dion and Michael Ignatieff surrounded by bullet holes. I mean, that's still up. I don't know why that is so. Maybe Tim could inform us, but that kind of stuff just isn't appropriate.
Sure, let's bring Tim in on this, because whether it's that photograph or the puffin video from before, let me get first of all the Conservative Party reaction to, or what you heard to well, it's now been taken down, but to the videos and the photoshopped images that were up there.
Well, having been here as you have, Bev, you know Newfoundland's the capital of political humor, but nobody here is laughing. I mean, it was hideous, outrageous, and offensive. Two fairly well-known Canadians, one being Rick Mercer from these parts, and the other being that Warren Kinsella guy, have both said that you don't joke about assassinations, and it was dumb. And it's a good thing that the person in question apparently has been disciplined. But what's unfortunate, and you talked about the puffin and the pooping puffin that got so much attention, is that Mr. Ignatieff himself has not seen fit to apologize. I mean, this is not a laughing matter. When that dumb puffin stunt, I call it dumb because it was dumb, happened during the election campaign, the Prime Minister came out and apologized. I'd like to see Mr. Ignatieff do the same thing. I think, you know, if he's going to be seen as a serious contender from government by not himself addressing this, he looks like he's a bit of a donkey, and I don't think it does the Liberal Party any good to have Mr. Ignatieff not on the record on this.
Well, let me ask you about the bullet holes on the shot that Warren Kinsella. I don't know if you were able to see it, by the way, but
here, I'm holding it up again. This is on the. I found out a kid, Liberal blogger, sent me this this morning on the way into the show. This is still on the Conservative website. They haven't apologized for it. They haven't withdrawn it, because Tim is right. You know, these things are dumb. But this one's still up.
Well, I haven't seen the picture, but I mean, you know, I go back to what Warren said a few minutes ago. You have a lot of enthusiastic young people in politics who get a little carried away, but what that has nothing to do with, in the same week that we're talking about some of the troubles that Silvio Berlusconi has had with protesters and attempts on him, you have this joke about assassination. Not fair game. Good attempt at distraction, Warren, but Michael Ignatieff really has to say something here. I mean, the PM, as I say, said sorry for a pooping puffin. I don't know why Mr. Ignatieff can't do the same.
Well, he might, but I mean, you know, it's a fair point. It was dumb. It was stupid. It was hideous, and all those words that you used. I agree with you. We got rid of it. But, you know, in politics, all of us have to be held to the same standard. Stephen Harper hasn't apologized for bullet holes around Stéphane Dion or Michael Ignatieff. It's still on your website. Still there this morning.
Okay, and gentlemen, on that note, I think it seems to be agreement literally on both sides and from both parties that it was a bad thing to do, and the Liberal Party has apologized. It's down. We will wait and see and hope that the work that you were talking about, Warren, in the future, and really with both parties moving forward, is that doesn't happen again. But I do appreciate you coming on to talk about it this morning.
Pleasure.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
See you, Tim.
Bye.
And now the final report on a sexual abuse scandal in Cornwall, Ontario.
Well, after 4 years